Hey guys, Dadtries, and today I have for you Mind Over Magic. This one was released on December 14th on Steam. It actually had a playtest a while back in October of this year. And yeah, it just came out in early access. And so far, guys, I mean, wow, there is a lot here. Mind Over Magic, to put it simply, is a colony builder, but you take on the role as kind of an architect of someone who is designing a school of magic. I named my school Dad's House for Wayward Nerds, and I have been absolutely obsessed with this game, and it's been a great one because it's one I could play offline, single player. And in fact, I had lost power for quite a while, so I was on generator on the laptop. It ran fantastic on my laptop, which has a Ryzen 5. I don't remember the exact model Ryzen 5, but and it has a 1660 Ti graphics card in it. It ran great, no issues. I did try it off the Steam Deck with the controllers, and that's not quite there yet. I had a pretty miserable time, but this game is super early access, so there is still hope for it. I know that RimWorld plays fantastic on the Steam Deck, and this game is so similar to RimWorld in so many ways that I know it's coming. It's just a matter of time. Let's just give them a minute on this one. It just came out like a week ago, but it'll get there. Just for now, it does not play natively on the Steam Deck with the controls. If you dock it and plug it in and play like that, fantastic, no issues. It runs it just fine. I picked up Mind Over Magic for $22.49. Regular price is $24.99, so that was a 10% sale. And I don't typically go for the early access games that are $25. I have been burned too many times. I know that Steam's refund policy is pretty generous, but I try not to push my limits there. But this one stuck out to me because it looked so similar to the way that this War of Mine is set up, and had a lot of elements for other colony builders like RimWorld that I absolutely adore. And so far, I really have not been disappointed at all. I am very happy with the money that I've spent on this game. I will say that the one major downside to Mind Over Magic is if you haven't played a colony builder, especially if you haven't played RimWorld specifically, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to. The tutorials are very good, but expect your first couple hours of play is going to be just going through the tutorial and reading what it has to say and following the instructions and just going really slow. And that's honestly, it's okay. It really spoon feeds you so you can get used to everything. And then after a little while, the training wheels just kind of start to naturally fall off. So the tutorial system was very well done. And I really felt like I was able to just kind of hit the ground running. But again, and you're going to hear me probably say this a lot. You'll probably get sick of it in this video. But I mean, I have hundreds of hours in RimWorld, and it just feels so similar. And you'll see why as we go along. I mean, things like the priority chart for all of your faculty and students, you set your priorities in that manner. Your resources, you can set priority on when you're mining them. The granular controls are there, but you also get to a point where you've set up everyone's priorities so finely that your entire school can be run as just an autonomous system, and you can just sit there like an evil overlord looking at your virtual ant farm, and it's fantastic. So besides just being a colony builder, the way that you improve, advance, and succeed in this is actually by summoning students. And you need to, in order to summon a student, you have to first build them a wand. Then you can summon a student. And the students, while they are students, are able to learn and improve and grow their stats. And once they're done, you have only a couple options. You can either graduate them and then they leave the school, or you can promote them to faculty. But once you promote them to faculty, they're no longer able to learn and improve, but they become a permanent member of your facility, and they can start doing the more advanced tasks, and they have much less limitations. So it really behooves you to make sure that your students are focusing on the tasks that grow their skills. And when you set their priorities, you'll notice that students can only perform certain tasks. And I like to use my students, to do things like make sure the school is clean and pick up all of the stuff and haul them into the chest so they don't get rained on, because when it randomly rains and you have things outside, they deteriorate, so you lose resources. So students are extremely useful for doing those mundane tasks like you would expect an intern to do. It's fantastic. You still have to feed them and house them and make sure they stay happy, because if you have them doing too much mundane tasks, or they starve, or they don't have any source of recreation, much like RimWorld, they will start to go nuts and they will take penalties and they will do things that are not good for your colony. And then when you graduate them, you gain a resource that you need to expand your research tree, which is massive. And there's two types of scrolls that you need to do. You get one type of scroll from graduating your students, and they can only graduate once they become fully educated by working with one of your faculty or teachers, and they teach them how to be better magic users. And then once they're ready, you can graduate them, and you get a certain reward for that. And there's another reward that you get simply for going into, they call it the underschool, and you explore that, and that actually expands your school as well and your buildable area. But it's turn-based combat, and the combat works very similar to For the King. If you haven't played that game, also a fantastic game. I'll put a link in the description to my review for the King 2. But the combat is turn-based. It's very, very good. If your guys get hurt, they have to go into your infirmary and heal up. And depending on how you have your infirmary set up and how you have different rooms set up, they get different stats. So you have to be mindful when you're actually building and expanding your school of what things you put where. For instance, bedrooms get a buff to your happiness if there's only one way in. And depending on what furniture you put into the bedrooms, it actually makes them better and better. Putting in things like lights reduces the luxury, but you can add different items like carpets that increase the luxury of the bedroom. The higher the luxury, the happier your folks are, and the higher tier bedroom that it is, and the more buffs you get for having those rooms. If I've lost you already, I'm sorry. See, I told you there's a lot, and playing the tutorials in this will make everything much clearer to you, I promise. It's just, there is a lot to talk about with this one because it is so deep. It is so very polished for an early access game. It has so many quality of life features that are in this that other games at this stage in their development couldn't even dream of doing. For instance, double-clicking on a particular resource selects all the resources that are in your current view pane, which is nice. Another feature of RimWorld that I feel was directly ported into this game, and it's a super, super nice touch, so well done there. And again, with the built-in resources, if you're trying to build something, just hover over the item and push shift. It'll tell you exactly where to find what you need. It will then tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get that resource. So you don't have to tab out. You don't have to have a second monitor with the game's wiki up. It's all right there for you. The tutorial and the wiki that's built in is just, it's so good. And it's a really nice touch, a lot of attention to detail. And you can tell that the folks that made this game, hang on, the developer is Sparky Pants. The folks at Sparky Pants are gamers. You can tell they've played their fair share of game and they're pouring their heart and soul into this one, and they've done just a damn fine job. Well done. And you know how I know they're gamers? Because as soon as you hit escape to open the main menu, the master volume slider is right there. And I'm so sick of games pumping up their volume for no good reason other than to it just blow your eardrums out when you're trying to talk to your friends and you launch the game and you can't hear anything and you have to ask your friends to repeat the last 30 seconds because you're hunting around to turn down the damn music volume. But no, these guys hit it on the head. There's just so many good things about this game that I can't even hit them all. There's no way. There's some good things I probably haven't even found yet. You're going to have to find them for yourself. This one was a two-pager for me. I write down as I'm playing, I write down all my thoughts so that I don't forget them. And when it comes time to make my review, I reference all my notes. And I had quite a bit. There was a lot. I actually omitted some for the sake of brevity. You're going to have to go in and find some of this stuff for yourself. But I mean, this one's very good. You would be silly to pass this up. It's currently very positive on Steam. It has like 420 reviews on Steam, but it's much deserving of the overwhelmingly positive tag, in my opinion. They've done so much right in this. If you're a fan of colony builders, if you're a fan of deep colony builders that have a lot to them, this is a must buy. It's also really awesome for the dad trying to play video games because you just smash space and it pauses and you can walk away, and it's a beautiful thing. And there's a bunch of different difficulties, from completely relaxed, drink a beer, chill out to make you very angry, you're not doing anything right. So pick your poison. It really doesn't matter how you play as long as you're having fun. All right, that's it. I won't go on anymore. That's Mind Over Magic. It's just so good. And folks, seriously, I smile every time I see I get another like. I super appreciate all the comments, all the love I've been receiving. It's been fantastic. Really, leave me a comment. Consider subscribing. It really makes my day anytime I earn a new subscriber. And I hope you all have the best holiday season out there, and I hope you get some time off, and I hope you get some quality gaming time in. Thanks, everybody. Till next time.